And I'm very glad now to welcome Markus Schäfer here on stage. He's the member of the area Mercedes-Benz Cars.
Ja, sehr geehrte Frau Bundeskanzlerin,
dear Mrs. Chancellor, dear Prime Minister, dear Lord Mayor, dear guests, dear Dieter Zetsche, dear colleagues, I would like to welcome you in the name of Daimler and the German automotive here in Kamenz. What we want to do is to prepare the mobility of the future, and we are going to lay the foundation stone for one of the most modern and one of the biggest battery factories in the world, with an annual capacity with more than with a lot of gigawatts. And I'm looking to Mr. Dunz and the Prime Minister. And in 2008, I was here personally. And I was standing on a green meadow, and we had a vision, Kamenz, to develop this town, to develop Saxony, and to bring Daimler more into the direction of alternative drives. We had big plans, big visions, and together we have achieved a lot. And now we are going into the next step, a big challenge, which we have seen only in parts, a new battery factory of the next generation. Until we get there, we need 18 months. 18 months, I can promise this will be hard work, and together we will certainly manage this. And now I have spoken a lot about battery factories. We have already seen the first step of it, the first step of e-mobility here in Kamenz. And from the battery factory, I would like to take you over to the main actor today, which is the battery. I'm going over to the industry area, and we can have a look at the battery and also one vehicle. We are talking about premium battery systems. So when we speak about premium batteries, you need a lot of things. You need a competitive cell, and you also need a competitive, hard-performing system, which will make the difference in the competition later on. The total system of sensoric cooling, software, and also crash security is very crucial. And so we are going to have the battery with a large range, with good performance, with a long longevity, and with big safety and short charging times, which we need. And this needs very skilled engineers, and I think we have them everywhere, and also methods from the industry 4.0. But what is a battery without the vehicle? And so we have also brought you the vehicle. It's not just some kind of vehicle, but it's one from the factory in Bremen. And we want to show you something about the industry 4.0, because we think industry 4.0 will also be an advantage connected to our factory here in Kamenz and other factories in Germany. We have beside the vehicle also an apprentice from Siedelfingen, who is Nina Meyer. She's 18 years old, in the third year of his apprenticeship. She's going to be a mechatronics engineer, and she's going to speak about the cooperation between human being and machine. And she's going to speak about the installation of a 120-kilogram battery into a vehicle in cooperation between human being and machine. Are you ready, Nina Meyer? So let's start. This is a robot. It's away from a fully automated system. It's 30,000 kilos weight, and Nina Meyer, she directs the system, and the robot is doing the job to do what it can do best, to lift up heavy weights. Nina Meyer's job it is to use her intelligence and her flexibility in an environment of the Industry 4.0, but Industry 4.0 continues in the factory, also in the future factory here in Kamenz, but also in the factories in Bremen and Sindelfingen, in Rastatt, in Germany, with digital planning throughout the whole system, real-time data, a good transportation system, and the battery has found its place. I think this requires an applause for Nina Meyer. And I just wanted to give you a short impression how Daimler is prepared in the factories, in the battery factories of the futures, with the Industry 4.0, in the car factories, but also with the human beings, the people that are very important for us, also in an environment of 4.0. I think we are very well prepared for the future. Thank you very much.
Markus Schäfer, herzlichen Dank.
Markus Schäfer, thank you very much. The tour is over. The Chancellor has left the factory, and we want to have a short view from the top on this whole on the premises. We have prepared a bird's perspective so that you can see the relationship between the first and the second facility. We are speaking about a vierfold of the whole surface. And what it will look like in the future, you can see in a second. We're just waiting on the big screen. You will be able to see. Yeah, there's the film starting. Perfect. So we are flying through the history of Accumotive a little bit. On the front, on the right, you can see the 3 different steps of the current production hall. There's the drone going up. After the first step, we have already started with the buildings in 2010. And you can see very well, this was the first part of the building that you could see on the right-hand side. It has a little different color of the roof, and then you can go to the second segment, which was built in 2012. And behind it, they have just stopped. There was a third segment, which was completed in 2015. And now we can see very well the dimension that we have. We have installed about 20,000 square meters of surface, and we are talking of impressive 80,000 square meters for production and logistics surface. You can see very well the tent where we are at the moment. You can see this is also not really a very small tent, so it's quite impressive. And if you can see, we have 80,000 square meters. For our availability, this is really quite a big size. This is very big. When should it be completed? I said in the past the EQ will go in production in 2019 in Bremen, so we have to be a bit faster. At the end of 2018, everything has to be ready here so that we can deliver our batteries to our colleagues. Such premises have to be filled up with life as well. So how many employees are going to work here? At the end, so until the end of the decade, we will come to 1,000 staff members. Over the next years, we are going to really double up our staff numbers. You can see how green everything is around everything around the premises. And of course, sustainability is also a big topic when we see this. And this is also a clear signal into this direction. Of course, the facility where we are going to lay the foundation stone will be a CO2 neutral factory, which means we are going to use a photovoltaic system, a cogeneration unit, and the colleagues of Mercedes-Benz Energy, they will also give us good stationary batteries so that we can store the energy for our production. We can see the last images of this flight of the drone. And I would like to bring your attention now on the right-hand side, because the EQ was already mentioned, but my favorite car is the one that is beside the Vision van. And I think the name is Program. What we can see there, the Vision van, is really a big vision for the future. We can already speak, it's a revolution for the load capacity. Full pallets can go into this. We have 2 drones on top to deliver the different parcels directly to the customers. With that van, you can have an increase of efficiency of about 50%. When we talk about delivery, loading, and the staff member or the driver that can sit inside, he can do different activities at the same time and stop. This is the postman of the future. He is going to deliver my shoes in the future. Yes, that's what he's going to do in the future. And what is nice, he will be very quiet by doing this because he has an e-drive, so he can also come in the evening, and so your scream of joy will be the only noise later on. I don't know if my neighbors want such a thing, but let's see when it's coming into our streets. Yes, what you can see there as a vision, this is coming into reality very fast. Next year, we are going to start a production for our e-transporters in the segment of the vans. We have a cooperation with the company Hermes, and they are going to use our e-transporters really for delivery services. And we also have outside, maybe you have seen that before you came in, we have the e-counter, the Fuso e-counter. This will be the third generation of such vehicles, light lorries for delivery services, last mile deliveries, as we call them. And these vehicles will, of course, also be used with batteries from Cummins in the future. We talked about the staff, we talked about the increase by vierfold of the surface, and for the people in Cummins, I think this is also a very important story, what's happening today. Yes, absolutely. You can see the colleagues, the representatives from the city, the local authorities and the government. We have very good relationship to them, to the different authorities, and it's really a great pleasure to have the business here, to do business. In 2009 we started, and if you look around to in what direction we are going, then on the one hand side, this is very sustainable concerning our environment with e-drives, but on the other side, it's also sustainable concerning business. We talked before about it. You are one of the first staff members. If somebody had told you in 2017 you are going to inaugurate such area here, would you have said you are completely crazy, or was it already, could you have seen this? And that time, we were dreaming of doing something like this, but at that point, we are even more proud that it has come into reality, and so this is the topic of what we want to celebrate today. We are very happy to have the Chancellor here. A very warm welcome, Angela Merkel. Accompanied by the Prime Minister of Saxony, Stanislav Tillich, by Dr. Zetsche, by the Lord Mayor of Cummins, Roland Danz, by Frank Blome, the Managing Director of Cummins, and of course also by Markus Schäfer. Jupp Kaufer, thank you very much for this very nice co-moderation. This is your applause, Jupp Kaufer. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, a very warm welcome at the laying of the foundation stone at the second factory of the automotive here in Cummins. You will be witnesses of the construction of one of the world's biggest factories of batteries in the world. This is a very important moment nationally and also worldwide, and a clear sign into the future. And so important is also the list of our guests. We are very happy to have the Chancellor, Mrs. Merkel, here, also the Prime Minister of Saxony, Mr. Tillich, and of course as well Mr. Zetsche, the CEO of the Daimler company. The Accumotive has existed since 2009 in Kamenz. In 2012, we had the first batteries that left our factory, and so far we have had about 80,000 batteries that were produced. And one of the first members of our company is amongst us today, and he will help us and present us through the program. You're welcome on stage. Yes, and on this moment, I would also wish you a very warm welcome from my side. It will be a pleasure to be here on stage for the next minutes together with you. We said you were one of the first members, and you are responsible for quality. What does quality mean for you? Quality, for me, means, like anywhere, for any locations of the production, that our products will be produced in time and in best Mercedes-Benz premium quality, delivered to the car group, to Smart, and also to the future colleagues of Van, and so also delivered to our customers. And what is your responsibility in your work? My task is, together with my staff members, to check all tasks of the quality assurance that starts with the development and goes over the quality of our deliverers, shop quality, analysis of what we have found out to put it into our production. And I can already hear the Chancellor has already arrived, accompanied by Stanislav Telich and Markus Schäfer and Dr. Zetsche, as we have said already. And there you can see the pictures, the images from the factory. What's happening there? The Chancellor is standing in front of the youngest battery of our family, which is the battery for our EQ vehicle, the show car. You can see here on the left-hand side, from your perspective seen. And besides the fantastic design, there's also the performance features that are really impressive. We have 300 kilowatt and a range of up to 500 kilometers, and the serial production will start in 2019 in the factory in Bremen, and we have to be a little bit faster, so 2018 we will have completed everything here to start with the production. And now you can see we're going to the next station. As we can see, we have come to the line for the current Smart, and there our cells are assembled to blocks. Mrs. Zarotny is explaining what is happening there exactly, and we have different cells which are stacked one on top of the others and then assembled into blocks. And later on, maybe you will be able to see this. The blocks will come to the back end, to the battery assembly, and go into the battery. And maybe at this moment I could give you some comment that for us it is a great advantage that all the cells we can buy on the market, and so we can guarantee that on the one hand side we have the best price for the cells and the best technology which can be put into our batteries, and on the other side we have missed a laughter here. You can tell us later what was the joke. And of course, when the delivery comes, we can concentrate on the battery so that we have the battery as an integral part of our vehicles. So we can also see the direction of the photographers. One photo. Now they are going to the next station. What will be that? So maybe we'll have a little tour going to the pre-assembly, the electrical pre-assembly. Some electrical components will be assembled there, and they will go to the conveyor belt. Well, I think these are the colleagues of Accumotive, because this is an apprentice, and so they can already see how nervous he must be. And this is Mr. Gödek. He is standing beside Mrs. Merkel. And Mr. Gödek is an apprentice who has finished his training here, so he's a fitter of our company. And now he's getting even more nervous that he gets his hands shaken. With us at our location, one topic is very important, which is to train young people, and we offer currently 3 different trainings, so 3 professions that are trained here, and dual university programs together in cooperation with the universities here in our region, so that we can make sure we will have good young people for the future, and that we can also have a good situation on the HR side for the future. So all the people who are laughing here, I would really love to see you when you were in that situation. You would also be nervous. Let's go on. The tour continues in a minute. There we have our managing director, Mr. Bloman, and we are going to get an image into the front end, the module production, where fully automated the modules will be produced later on. If we have a look into this, there are very few people, and of course this is due to the production side and also safety issues, because we do not want the staff members to get in danger with parts that have electricity. And on the right-hand side, we can see, if you look to the image, everything will be stacked up. The cells will be packed and stacked, as we have seen with the last station. And if you look to the left-hand side, there would be some different checking methods, and the ready battery module will be handed over into the battery assembly. The tour continues, and we are standing now at a table where you can see, as I have already mentioned briefly, our battery cells are bought on the market. You can see a different range of cells that we use in our factory. The cells that you can see there, different applications require different batteries and also different cells, which means we really need a very wide range of products which can be used and where we can get our cells from. What you can see, we are going a little bit into the technology. There are different technologies of cells. You have the round cells, the classical cells, which you will probably know. They look a little bit or something like what we have in our batteries. Hopefully it was a little bit more energy in them, and we have some other cells. Outside there is like a foil, like a coffee bag. There are different sizes and also different energy charges, and what Markus Schäfer is holding, this is a prismatic cell. And so I think these are the essential types of cells when we talk about HV batteries, which we use in our vehicles. These are the batteries that are used in the industry in general. And there is one producer that has different technology, otherwise they all use the same. These are the topics that are being explained to the Chancellor. We know the Chancellor knows everything very well, and she really wants to have a lot of details, and this is perfectly fine. I just want to go back to the industry. As you have said before, the batteries are not only used in the cars, but are also used in industry. Yes, absolutely. Here at our location, we saw that before. Mercedes-Benz Energy was written there before. The colleagues of Mercedes-Benz Energy, they are also here in our tent, so you can applaud, of course. And the colleagues of Mercedes-Benz Energy deal mainly to have batteries also for home applications and industrial applications, using the batteries that we have at our location here in Kamenz, and in such way that together with all other activities that we have here, we can have an ecosystem for e-mobility, which we want to install, and we have prepared everything that we can do this also in the future. The basis will be done today with the laying of the foundation stone. And before, I forgot to say where we are right now, where we are standing here. More or less exactly at this place, there will be the production in the future. So directly here, we will have production lines where exactly the battery will be produced in 2018. It's not only a historical day, but also a historical place. Yes, absolutely. The group has started moving again, going to the next station. Also, Mr. Paschke, it's another employee. He's explaining to the Chancellor his job. We are at the front end and also back end on the other side, and the battery assembly where all different components from the battery management system or electricity guide rails, everything will be connected there to have the ready product, which we might see soon. Now, I cannot hear what she's asking, and we will ask Mr. Paschke later on. Yes, that's right. In the background, you can see the module assembly, and now they are continuing, and we are standing. There you can see the battery that is being produced on the line. This is the fourth generation of the smart battery for all the applications in the smart car. In the current smart, we have the first time the possibility to have the full lineup. We will start with the convertible, the two-seater, and the four-seater. So the complete product portfolio also exists as an electric vehicle, and the battery that is being explained right now. In the performance, it will have 60 kilowatts later on in the car. The Chancellor is getting some other explanations, and we can see in total the battery blocks. We have 3 different blocks in A, 32 cells, so each, and altogether 96 power cells, which are integrated. When we look to the left side now, there we have the battery assembly, as we have just seen it and talked about. We are passing this, and now we have to look a little bit. Maybe you are a bit surprised. In the back, there are the people, the press people that were at the tour as well, but they are now coming in, with the Chancellor coming in a minute. And the Chancellor is still walking through the factory. Yes, you can see. So if you paid attention, there were the battery frames for the ready products, and they will go into the car factories. So 28 pallets per lorry will go to the different factories.